People say that they hate being on camera, but it's not a question about their confidence, it's more so their lack of preparation. But before I go into the video, if you don't know who I am, my name's Leandro. I run a creative business within the fitness industry and also within other industries as well. I'm gonna try and make a comeback. I say a comeback, I never was really consistent with YouTube, but I'm gonna try and make it consistent this time. Probably doing like one video a week, maybe one video every other week. I'm not too sure, but I've been watching a lot of James Smith recently, and I just enjoy his style of work or style of videos. It's very easily digestible, easy to watch, not too heavily edited, and I know it's something that I can definitely do, especially regurgitating a lot of the reels I put out on my Instagram and creating it into long form content, which should be easier. I won't be feeling more rushed to put in a shitload of information within 60 to 90 seconds. But anyways, today's video, as you've seen from the title, from the thumbnail, hopefully, we're going to be talking about camera confidence. And camera confidence is something that I get spoken to or asked about a lot. A lot of people say, you know, Leandro, how are you so confident on camera? I can't bring myself to do it. And the question is, you just need to pass that first hurdle. And usually that first hurdle is a lack of preparation. A lot of people will just freeze when they start to record because they don't know what to talk about, or they do, but when the camera starts recording, their mind just goes blank. And it's completely natural because I get like that a lot of the times. I've actually just written a bunch of notes that's on my monitor right now. And there's 3 parts that we're going to go through. So part 1, reps build confidence. Confidence isn't a personality trait. It's built upon repetition. I'm sure there's an avenue of your own life where you know you're confident at doing something, whether it's horse riding, swimming, playing football. You may be confident at doing it because you do it all the time. I'm not so confident with football because I don't do football all the time. But one thing I know I'm confident with is creating good content because I do it as a job. This is the thing that a lot of people have the problem with, is that they don't put the reps in, and it's like a muscle. If you want to train that muscle, if you want to grow that muscle, you need to put the reps in. You need to do it week on, week out. A lot of people will go through a whole month of doing it and then they stop. So they lose the momentum. And again, like anything, when you lose momentum, it's harder to pick it back up. So the best way to build that confidence is by doing it every week, even if it's once a week. And the easiest way to actually build your camera confidence, which I say it to a lot of my clients, is to start talking on your stories on Instagram. Because if you run a service-based business or even an online business on Instagram, Instagram stories is probably the most, if not the most used feature, because people want to know what you're doing every day. People are nosy by nature, and talking to your phone will get you in the habit of talking to an inanimate object, the camera. Even doing this, I haven't done content, I haven't filmed videos for a good 2 months, so it does feel a bit weird, hence why I've got some notes on my monitor to kind of help me not ramble on. The other thing about it is that you're not camera shy, you just don't know what to say, which is what I was saying previously. You just need a structure, and you just need, especially if you're doing Instagram Reels, a bit more probably in depth of a structure for YouTube, but because my avenue is more Reels, all you need is a 3-point structure. A hook, the actual information that you're going to talk about. I usually have about 3 to maybe 5 bullet points, and then your call to action. That is all you need. If you don't have any of that, it is going to be harder, but it is doable, because I do have some clients who don't even need a script because they talk about what they're filming day in, day out, that it just comes to them second nature. However, the only thing is that once we start putting a bit more of a focus into your hooks and your call to actions, it does steer you away from the actual structure that you have in your head, because you're used to saying it a certain way, but as soon as I come in and I kind of suggest, okay, well, this hook needs to be stronger, this call to action needs to be stronger, it will sometimes derail your head. So I always recommend they have a structure. A lot of people feel like they need to get it right the first time. You don't. And I don't know where people get this idea from, because I don't get this right the first time either. The intro took me about 2 or 3 times to do it. And The camera isn't judging you. It might be, you don't know, I don't know. My camera might be judging me right now, but I don't know because it doesn't talk to me. You can refilm, you can frame yourself however you want. And that's the beauty of creating video and being able to edit it. Even if you're not a professional editor, if you don't do it for work, for your business like I do, you don't have to do the craziest edit. But if you know how to cut and cut out the bad takes and keep the good ones, that's all you need. It's fine if you take a little while to say your words, if you have pauses, because you can just cut them off, do some zoom cuts or jump cuts, whatever you call them, throw some bunch of transitions. It's fine because people are going to think you did it in one try, but you didn't. You took 5 tries. And most of what we see online is probably someone's 3rd, maybe even 8th try of that video. I'm pretty sure the most amount of tries I had for one video was about 6. But even if we get it right the first time, I will always get my clients to do it a 2nd time, potentially even a 3rd time. Because when you get it right the first time, or when you start getting it right and you do it again, that information that you've retained and that flow that you've created, it will stay in your head. That's why I make them repeat themselves, because I just want to make sure that we've definitely nailed the actual delivery of the video. And I feel like the reason why a lot of people think they need to get it right the first time is because they're chasing for the perfection and not for the progress. Now, if you're not confident in front of the camera, you shouldn't be worrying about getting it right the first time. You should be worrying about just getting it done. When you walk into the gym, you're not going to know how to squat properly. You're not going to know how to bench or even deadlift properly, but you're walking in and you're going to try it. You're going to probably film yourself or ask for advice, work on your form, do it again the next week, and the next week, and the next week, and the next week, until 6 months down the line, you've nailed it. And that's the same as doing videos. That's the same as doing anything else in life. The more times you repeat it, the more confident you get, the better you get. I guess the takeaway from this video, or something that you guys can start doing, if you're not confident yourself with recording content, I strongly recommend that you start posting on your stories more often, talking about, what you've got planned for your day, maybe a little rant about, if you work in the fitness industry, maybe something that you've seen that you think is bullshit. If you work in different industries, same thing. Just be in front of the camera, whether it's your phone, whether it's an actual camera, even better if it's an actual camera, but baby steps at the moment. So show up on your stories, talk to the camera, because not only is it going to grow your confidence in front of the camera, but also it's going to start showing your personality online. And showing your personality online, for me personally, has been an absolute game changer. My business grew more from showing my personality online, and this is also why I'm starting to do YouTube, is because it allows me to show my personality and a bit of my knowledge and my character behind running a content creation business, being able to share and give away value to you guys, and hopefully reach a brand new audience that I haven't been able to reach through Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. From this video, walk away from it and start putting the reps in. Talk in front of the camera, talk to your phone, post it on your stories, or even as a proper reel, and show it to it every day if you can, once every week, 3 times every week. The more times you do it, the more confident you can get, the better you'll be at it, the more conviction you'll actually be able to bring across in your videos. Conviction and confidence are 2 very similar things. They probably are the same thing, but when you've really nailed creating content and you can actually say your words with conviction, people are going to feel it. They're going to hear it, they're going to sense it, and you will start becoming an authoritative figure in whatever space that you work in. And in order to actually gain more clientele, people need to feel and know that if they're choosing you, that they're in safe hands. A lot of my clients come to me because they know I take care of them. That wouldn't have been possible had I not grown my personal brand, i.e. be in front of the camera, and also put in the reps in to allow my confidence to grow and my conviction to be put across in a video. The only way out of feeling awkward in front of the camera is just by hitting record and go for it. Whether it takes you 1 try, 2 tries, 3 tries, 4 tries, 5 tries, just do it.